But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective devices, okay? I have lawyers worked on this for 5 months.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, you show how things have changed. One of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off." Well, he came off, and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, "I'll be waiting for you." He was waiting for 3 guys in straight racers. Not a joke. There's a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pulls. He was the mechanic. And I said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Come down here in the basement where the mechanics, where all the pull builder is. You know the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off the 6-foot length of chain. He pulled up, he said, "You walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, 'You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.'" I said, "You kidding me?" He said, "No, if you don't come back." And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And they had, those days, used to remember the straight racers, you'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, when I tell you get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you, Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, "You apologize to me?" I said, "I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said." He said, "Okay," closed the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. Dumb. So dumb. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, "This is genius."
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those
but it's a class action lawsuit against all machines.
It's not they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
They weren't coming because they couldn't get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country.
I don't know. I eat extra sharp.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. This is the show that I do. I do a show live. Doing a show live. This is live currently. It is 10:10, as you can see. So, it's a live show. We got a live show. Doing a show live, folks. Okay, so I've got some news. This is a I guess like a news show of some kind. I'm not entirely sure what this is. But it's something. So, okay. Hopefully everyone is doing good. All right. Welcome everyone. We got Ali CIA in the chat. We got Johnny Too Late FTV in the chat. We got Kath Rhine in the goddamn. We got Farmin in the goddamn. We got Madamo in the goddamn. We got Paladin in the goddamn. We got Rialan in the goddamn. We got About to Sleep ZZZ in the goddamn. And so many more. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program, folks. Let's get into it. So I saw this, and let's find out what this is. The Senate passes a sweeping bipartisan bill overhauling the U.S. Postal Service. So let's read. The Senate on Tuesday passed sweeping bipartisan legislation to overhaul the U.S. Postal Service's finances and allow the agency to modernize its operations. The final vote was overwhelmingly bipartisan, 79-19. The bill now heads to President Joe Biden's desk for a signature of the Postal Service Reform Act, which cleared the House last month, 342-92, would require retired postal employees to enroll in Medicare when eligible, while dropping a previous mandate that forced the agency to cover its healthcare costs years in advance. Again, that's the only institution that would ever have had to do that, mandated for whatever reason. It was done in the Bush era, I remember, or rather, I believe, as a way to cripple the USPS, as a way to increase the stock prices of other things like FedEx and UPS. Those two measures would save the USPS nearly $50 billion over the next decade. According to the House Oversight Committee, the legislation would also require the USPS to create an online dashboard with local and national delivery time data. Boom! I use the USPS pretty much every day. Well, maybe every week, I'll say. So I'm this is good for me. I love the USPS. I'm in. I love it. Ahead of the vote on Tuesday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer touted that once the legislation passes, postal reform will finally be signed, sealed, and delivered for the American people. Folks, I have a question. Why the fuck is Louis DeJoy still the goddamn Postmaster General? Is Joe Biden demented? Is he senile? Like, yes, this bill is good, and I'm glad that it's happening. But also, guess who's going to do everything that they can to fuck it up? That's Louis DeJoy. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. We're almost we're over a year into this administration, this so-called administration, and they haven't replaced the Postmaster General. I don't know what's going on there. That's bizarre. But anyway, here's some history. Established in 1775 to promote the free exchange of ideas across the colonies, the Postal Service is among the country's oldest governmental institutions, yet it operates with few of the financial benefits of being a federal agency while still bearing many of the costs. Unlike other government agencies, the USPS generally does not receive taxpayer funding, and instead must rely on revenue from stamps and package deliveries to support itself. My opinion? Subsidize the USPS. That's my opinion. Subsidize that shit. Make letters free. Why do you need a stamp? Maybe have like a 1-cent stamp or something, just because putting a stamp on a letter is cool. That's cool, right? Putting you get it and then you peel it off. It's like, and then you put it, right? That's cool, right? That's awesome. But why don't they just get taxpayer funding? I mean, yes, that would subsidize businesses like Amazon and so forth, but it would also subsidize plenty of small businesses. I personally, for those of you that don't know, one of my side hustles is I operate an eBay store. And so, for me, I'm just saying, I'm in the pocket of big USPS. So, if they subsidize that, that'd be great. And I personally think that that's good for everyone. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. Senator Gary Peters, a Democrat from Michigan who introduced the Senate version of the USPS legislation, said Tuesday in floor remarks that by approving this bill, this body can show the nation that Congress can indeed build consensus. We can work on so yeah, that's cool. So there you go, some decent news. I'm sure that there's some loopholes in there that are fucking with people, but it's not bad. There you go. That's the USPS. It is Ali CIA's birthday. In the chat room, welcome to the show, Ali CIA. The CIA is here. Carve out large businesses so they don't get shit. Subsidizing Amazon in any way is not okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. If you can get more granular, but I'm in the pocket of big USPS. What can I tell you? Drop a link to my eBay store in the chat. I gotta update it. I haven't updated it in like 3 months because I'm lazy and stupid, but don't tell anyone. So maybe after I get that done, I will leverage my audience. Anyway, so we got a show going on, doing a show, here, doing a program, today. Anyway, so hopefully everyone is having a good morning. I'm having a decent morning. I'm having a decent morning today, and so that's good. For me, that is. That's good for me. There's a problem going on in the United States of America. This is something that obviously I cover very often on my program because, you know, I'm personally affected, of course. But also, even if you are not, you should still care. And that is, there has been forever, really. But, like, you know, especially since Donald Trump left the White House, there's been a concerted effort to demonize transgender people in this country. For whatever reason, this was like the thing that everyone started rallying around after the January 6th insurrection. I remember Donald Trump's very first speech since the insurrection. He spent about half the speech attacking trans kids, talking about how, you know, just all the classic conspiracy theories. So recently there was legislation. Rather, there was not legislation. There was an interpretation of already existing law in Texas that basically deputizes anyone to become bounty hunters for trans kids. So if you think a kid somewhere might be trans, maybe, you get to call Child Protective Services, and then Child Protective Services will potentially try to steal that person's child just because they don't even need to be trans. They don't even need to have any medicinal, they don't need to be on puberty blockers or anything like that. They could maybe even identify as trans and that's it. Or they're not even trans at all, but maybe you think they're weird or something, and Child Protective Services will invade that person's house and attempt to steal their child. That's what's going on in Texas. But again, that's not the first iteration. We've seen the Dakotas pass these sweeping anti-trans kids bills for all 10 trans kids in the Dakotas, but they still matter, obviously. And now we're seeing in Idaho something that's just so again, this is the Overton window effect, where every time a state will pass something like this or do something like this, another state's gonna go I can do better. And so Idaho now is going in. Idaho's House just passed HB 675. It passed by a vote of 55-13. It would make providing gender-affirming care to trans teens a felony with a life sentence. Worse, it would make leaving the state with your trans teen to move elsewhere and provide them with care a felony as well. Now, again, some of these things might sound ridiculous to you, but it doesn't matter. These laws are passed and brought forth because they want to get to the Supreme Court. They want to get something like this to the Supreme Court and have the Supreme Court make a ruling on something like this. So again, we need to understand that. So it says at the top here, it says at the top here, puberty blocking medication to stop or delay normal puberty. Now, again, what is normal puberty? Now, again, one of the problems with these bills, in these interpretations of laws, is the Texas interpretation of law, right, says that it is illegal in child abuse to, modify otherwise healthy body parts in reference to genitalia. Does that include circumcision? Because the language says that it would be child abuse to remove otherwise healthy body parts. So everyone who's ever circumcised their child is an abuser by that logic. Now, again, I personally agree with that. I think circumcision is evil. But also, are they going to enforce this with 70% of parents that circumcise their children? No. So again, there's multiple mechanisms here. There's vague language, and then it's all ultimately up to enforcement, and then gets legal cases, and then it goes to the Supreme Court. So, let's keep reading. Supraphysiological doses of testosterone to a female or doses of estrogen to a male, removing any otherwise healthy or non-diseased body part or tissue. So again, the Idaho bill bans circumcision, removing any otherwise healthy or non-diseased body part or tissue. It bans circumcision. This bill bans circumcision. Again, I'm just saying, it's banned. So are they going to, but again, it's about enforcement. Is the state going to enforce this on circumcision, even though circumcision is banned in this bill? No, because the state is only going to use its resources to go after transgender people. Except as provided in subsection 45 of this section, whoever knowingly removes or causes, permits, or facilitates the removal of a child from the state for the purpose of facilitating any act prohibited by subsection 1 of this section shall be found guilty of a felony. So what that implies is that if you're leaving the state, either to do trans healthcare in a neighboring state and you just drive back and forth, or it's vague enough to maybe say if you're just leaving the state. Right? Like, okay, what? But again, these bills don't need to be legal. The way this system works in the government, right? Y'all don't know this if you don't pay attention. I only know this because I'm a freak and I look at this shit all day. So, again, why let's look at stuff like weed, for example. This is an example of this in the good direction. States can pass their own laws, right? Like that legalize cannabis, for example. But cannabis can still be federally illegal. So, but guess what? It's still illegal. Every time you smoke weed in a legal state, you are breaking federal law. The federal government and the DEA could theoretically send you to prison for a very long time if they wanted to. But they choose not to. They choose not to enforce the law in states that have legalized it because there's like an unwritten illegal agreement. It is not part of the law. It is cannabis is federally illegal in all 50 states. It is illegal against U.S. law to smoke weed in any kind or to possess weed of any kind at all. Full stop. Okay? But again, you know, because of an unwritten, unspoken agreement, the federal government decides not to really prosecute in states that have legalized it. So let's flip the script on another thing. So states can make federally illegal or unconstitutional laws if they want to. They can do so. There is nothing stopping them from doing so except for the court system. Theoretically, because we have this, like, you know, with this legislating from the bench bullshit, like this judicial review interpretation nonsense of the way the Supreme Court works, basically, they get to dictate what all of these laws mean, right? So Republicans can pass laws like this, right? They'll eventually try to prosecute. A group like the ACLU will probably step in and defend people that are going to be hurt. Now, again, people's lives will be destroyed in this process. You know, imagine going through imagine you're 14 years old and like from age 14 to 18, you're in legal battles because your parent drove you across the state line to get hormones or whatever, right? Like for several years, your life is going to be damaged by this. You're going to have like harassment from the media, right? Again, so that is real damage. But even if these laws make it to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court shoots them down, again, real damage has been done up until that point. But then the Supreme Court can say, all right, well, you know, it's unconstitutional to slap felony charges on someone for trying to move out of the state, but removing otherwise healthy and non-diseased body parts should be illegal. That is child abuse, right? So again, it's to get the judicial review bullshit. That's what this is about. And so, you really need to understand how the courts in this country work. Because not only are people's lives going to be hurt getting to that process, but the Supreme Court basically can just pick and choose what they feel like should be prosecutable, what they feel like should be illegal, what they feel like, and it's all based on vibes. It's all like none of this matters at all constitutionally. It would be against, it's just life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Like the basic, principles of the Constitution are under attack here, but the Supreme Court can just say, whatever, fuck it. So, again, this is a really bad deal going on in Idaho, but real people are going to be hurt, trans people are going to be hurt, and there's nothing anyone can do because the state has infinite power, and they will fuck you up if you're not a white person, not a Republican, not a cisgender or heterosexual person, probably, in a lot of ways, even if you're poor and you're all those things, they're still going to fuck with you at every chance that they can. But there you go. Got a fucking knot in my hair. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. So we got some crazy fuck-ass Republicans. Lie back and enjoy it. Michigan candidates' rape comments slammed by the GOP. Host says Robert Regan misspoke in making rape analogy involving daughters. So this is pretty good. I think this is a video on this, so let's watch this.
Regan wants to decertify the 2020 election results, and in his campaign, he's harked on many of the same unsubstantiated claims about the election made by the former president. His primary victory could be evidence of Trump's increasing and lasting influence on the GOP and its base.
What is going on with this video player?
Robert Regan prides himself in being a grassroots conservative.
All right, fuck this. This is just like a puff piece. Okay. A Republican nominee for the Michigan House of Representatives is facing backlash for comments he made about sexual assault in his daughters while discussing a possible decertification of the election. Robert R.J. Regan, a Republican who just won a special election to fill a Michigan House seat in District 74, made the comments while speaking on a Facebook Live for a Michigan Rescue Coalition. While discussing a possible decertification, Regan said, having 3 daughters, I tell my daughters if rape is inevitable, you should just lie back and enjoy it. The comment drew strong reaction from one of the other guests on the show, Amber Harris, who called Regan's comments shameful. Host Adam De Angeli pointed out that the show is streaming on YouTube, then added probably not for much longer after what Robert said. Reached by phone today, D'Angelini, is it D'Angeli or D'Angelini? I don't know. Said he believes Regan misspoke, trying to say that not contesting the election would be like telling dog. Why is the host of this podcast doing like damage control for this dude? Shouldn't this dude be the guy doing that? Regan did not respond to his to a call to his cell phone for comment, but he said in a text message that his remarks were taken out of context of being used against him by a leftist group doing what they do. Okay, so he's not even apologizing. Okay, so anyway, this guy's crazy. Now again, they're talking about stealing the election. Stealing in the sense Joe Biden won the 2020 election, Donald Trump lost. They want Donald Trump in the White House, so what they're going to try to do is, they're doing all these little games and conspiracy theories to get Trump reinstated or whatever fucking magical QAnon bullshit that they come up with. And in their efforts to do so, they are comparing it, it's like I always say to my daughter, if rape's inevitable, just lie back and enjoy it. First, who speaks to their daughters like that? That's a weird thing to fucking say. Second of all, this guy's trying to, fucking destroy the U.S. government, but he won an election. He won the special election. I want y'all to understand, 14th Amendment, Section 3, clearly states, those who engage in an insurrection or give aid and comfort to those engaging in an insurrection against the United States are federally banned from office. They are banned from federal office, state office, municipal, whatever. They are banned from ever running for office. Yet, this guy won an election and is now in the Michigan House. And he literally engaged in an insurrection, is trying to engage in an insurrection, and is giving aid and comfort to those engaging in an insurrection. But again, there's no enforcement mechanism for the Constitution. No one cares. No one gives a fuck. There's no agency designated to enforce this. Judges don't give a shit. So the 14th Amendment basically doesn't even really exist in the eyes of the U.S. government. Fuck it. Because if it did, I got bad news for the GOP. Pretty much the entirety of the Republican Party would be classified as a terrorist organization, and pretty much everyone who is a Republican would have been banned from office on January 7th, if the Constitution mattered at all. So hashtag fuck men, but not in the good dick way. Get that trending? By the way, thank you for the super chat earlier. I think I forgot to say thank you for that because I'm stupid. And not only am I stupid, but I'm also dumb. So factor both of those things in. Very, very important things to factor into the show that we're watching here. So, folks, we've got some news. That's right. This is a news show. I do news on this show. I got like a little coffee on my lip. That's crazy. So there's something funny happened. Today, Joe Biden signed an executive order, basically, to my understanding, outlining just like what the administration's kind of interpretation of how cryptocurrencies are, what they want to monitor and assess, and outline some things so that people don't launder money, rich people don't evade taxes, and so forth. But there was something interesting happened as well that I want to talk about. I have some cryptocurrency. People might not know that. Bitcoin tops 41K after Yellen's, that's the Treasury Secretary, crypto statement inadvertently published early. So people, for those of you that don't know, cryptocurrency has been kind of on a pretty big downtrend for the last, 5 months or so, since November or so. And so, but, one of the main reasons for that, in my opinion, and I'm just saying, in October, I believe, of last year, it was announced that the White House is going to be looking into regulating cryptocurrency and other stuff. And it turns out that the executive order that he's signing is relatively positive on crypto as a whole. Again, they're targeting rich people. They want to, regulate rich people avoiding taxes, which is good. Fuck the rich, right? And they're not going to be cracking down on individual investors. But also, there's something that's very funny here is that there was like an accidental leak of this executive order text on the Treasury Secretary's website, and so this is a little funny thing here. Bitcoin rallied early on Wednesday, pushing the broader crypto market higher after U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's inadvertently published remarks revealed that President Joe Biden's impending crypto order would take a constructive approach in regulating the digital asset industry. A presidential executive order on cryptocurrencies would support responsible innovation as it coordinates U.S. policy across agencies, Yellen said in a statement, which was scheduled for release on Wednesday, but was published on late Tuesday. So they pressed the wrong button. It was, instead of Wednesday, they pressed Tuesday, so it came out like, whoops, what are you going to do? And the Bitcoin price and other cryptocurrencies is going up, 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 up. Under the executive order, Treasury will partner with interagency colleagues to produce a report on the future of money and payment systems, blah, blah, blah. It's basically, the executive order is, we're looking at it. We're going to be targeting the rich. We're not going after individual investors for now. And that could change at any point, so keep that in mind. But, there you go. There you go. Up, 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 up. Got a show going on, folks. Whoa. Whoa. We're only half an hour in. I'm speedrunning this fucking show. Holy shit. I'm on goddamn drugs. Woo! So we were talking yesterday about food companies in their response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So McDonald's, we found out yesterday on yesterday's program that McDonald's first opened within the, greater Russia area in the Soviet Union in 1990. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Soviet Union wasn't doing so well in 1990, and so McDonald's comes around, and then the Soviet Union collapses 6 months later, right? I'm just saying, is it chicken or the egg? Who knows what's going on there? Either way, McDonald's was trying to, a lot of these companies, for whatever reason, are trying to avoid commenting on something that's very obvious, like Ukraine is very obviously the side you should be on in this instance. But anyway, I don't even know, why are we looking to food companies, by the way, to do this? There's a lot going on that's very strange, let me tell you. Like, we're all looking, I wonder what Taco Bell has to say about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Like, imagine 100 years ago, you transport in a time machine 100 fucking years ago, and you show someone this article, like McDonald's statement on the invasion of Ukraine, like again, what are we doing in this society? But either way, let me get into this. McDonald's to shutter 850 Russia stores after backlash. Chain was under pressure to respond after Ukraine invasion, company to continue paying workers in Russia during pause. McDonald's Corporation is temporarily closing all 850 Russia locations following mounting criticism that the fast food chain failed to act quickly following the nation's invasion of Ukraine. Again, why we're looking to McDonald's for like their foreign policy, geopolitical statements, I don't know. But this, in my opinion, now again, it does specify that they are paying the workers. Assuming they are paying the workers 100% of their wages, I'm in on this. This is a good idea. No one needs McDonald's. I'm sorry, you don't need it. Fuck McDonald's. And it does make a powerful statement to, see all of the McDonald's, right? Again, McDonald's flourishing in the post-communist, whatever, your made-up definition of communism that it would apply to the Soviet Union was. The free market capitalist Russia now has 850 McDonald's, and now they're all gone. So, I mean, I think it's interesting. So, I'm just saying, I'm on board with this. The company will continue paying its 62,000 employees in Russia, McDonald's said in a letter Tuesday from Chief Executive Officer Chris Kempsky. McDonald's has also temporarily closed its 100 locations in Ukraine and continues to pay its employees there. I mean, yeah, it makes sense to close the stores in Ukraine because, they might literally be bombed, right? So, As we move forward, McDonald's will continue to assess the situation and they're going to sit back and assess, folks, and determine if any additional measures are required. At this juncture, it's impossible to predict when we might be able to reopen our restaurants in Russia, Ski said. We are experiencing disruptions to our supply chain along with other operational impacts. We'll also closely monitor the humanitarian situation. McDonald's shares rose 0.9%. That's crazy. So only 2% of all McDonald's restaurants are in Russia or Ukraine. They account for 9% of global revenue. That's interesting. But anyway, so McDonald's got pressure and other fast food... I don't know why fast food companies are being pressured to have foreign policy takes. But also, McDonald's has a good foreign policy. So... in my opinion, this is good. They're paying the employees. That's the most important aspect, in my opinion. Right? If they were to just close all the restaurants and say, fuck the workers, that would suck, and I would hate that. But as long as they're actually taking care of their employees in some capacity, I'm in favor of this. So there you go. I mean, I never thought I'd say it, but McDonald's, not bad. Hey. God ass damn, folks. This is one hell of a show. one hell of a goddamn show. I love pirate ships. I love buried treasure. I'm in. Nice shirt, by the way. This is a shirt. It's a shirt. It exists. It's like a purple material. I've got multiple layers on, by the way. Multiple layers on. And so also I just washed my hair right before the show started. I usually don't shower before the show starts. Because, you know, I usually shower after, but I just washed my hair, so, you know, I'm looking pretty good. I don't know, you know, what did I take? Don't worry about it. Woo! Oh my god, that's such a good stretch. Oh yeah. Oh. Folks, for those of you that did not see my Doom run that I uploaded last night, I got the record and the new John Romero map, and so you should go check that out. I'm just saying. Go check it out. It's cool. So, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So there's been a little bit of, let me get this. So there's been a little bit of, you know, now again, I say this in the most minuscule level, like, we need a microscope to find it. But there's been some detection of a spine in some members of the Republican Party when it comes to Donald Trump. And so, you know, again, after January 6th, we saw a couple senators, people in the Republican Party, going against Trump because the insurrection was pretty bad, actually. But then they got bullied by the party into backing up on that. We also know that the RNC recently declared January 6th, quote, legitimate political discourse. What the fuck, right? But now we're seeing, over a year later, Michael Pence is, again, these are unconfirmed reports, but we have detected at least one molecule of a backbone and a spine in the Republican Party, and that molecule's name is Michael Pence. And so he has been going up. He's been, you know, tweeting about Trump. He's been saying, I disagree with Trump, and he's wrong, and he's illegal. And now he was asked what his opinions are and when it comes to running in potential Republican presidential primaries. And here we have what Michael Pence has to say. Will he run in 2024? Will he?
Mr. Vice President, before you go, a word on 2024. Do you want President Trump to run? Are you looking to get back into leadership?
You know, all of my focus right now is on 2022. I think we have a historic opportunity to reclaim majorities in the House and the Senate to elect great Republican governors around America. And in 2023, I'm confident the Republican Party will nominate a candidate who will be the next president of the United States of America. And at the right time, my family and I will reflect and consider how we might participate in that process.
So again, folks, for the last couple of months, Mike Pence came out of the shadows and started, tweeting about how Trump is kind of icky and he's kind of illegal. Like, just, the concept of an orange man is something that really should be outlawed. Now, again, I think it's good. I think the Republican primary is going to be very good entertainment. But also, I'm very fearful because if this guy were president, he's crazy. I need you to understand, any Republican standing up to Trump doesn't make them a good person. They are not, quote, joining the resistance like fucking Nancy Pelosi wants you to believe. These motherfuckers are crazy, right? These motherfuckers are insane. This guy is a, Christian nationalist, fundamentalist, freak show motherfucker who wants to ban, evolution from the world. This guy is nuts. He's fucking nuts, right? But he knows that he can maybe get some kind of, he's the reasonable Republican. That's the lane that this guy is going for, just by saying, yeah, Donald Trump trying to overthrow the U.S. government was bad, actually. Every other part of his politics sucks and is 100% in lockstep with Trump, right? But he's just going to avoid talking about that for a while, try to pick up some, reasonable Republican, right? And that's what he's going for. But at least it's interesting, again, to watch that some Republicans, especially those in the Trump administration, are speaking out against the orange man. Again, reminder, Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Joe Biden is the winner of the 2020 election. Donald Trump is a loser. So throwing that out there, there you go. Michael Pence. I'm a Christian fundamentalist. Nationalism isn't that bad. IMO.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
All right. God is coming back into culture, at least. We've reached peak degeneracy.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Not sending their best. All right. So again, the Republican Party, specifically members of the Trump administration, are trying to distance themselves from the orange man after the orange man is growing increasingly erratic after attempting to overthrow the U.S. government after losing the 2020 election. Joe Biden is the real winner of the 2020 election and the legitimately elected president. And so here we have William Barr. Now, again, William goddamn Barr is garbage. Garbage. Trash, garbage, shit on my shoes, evil, motherfucker. And anyone that disagrees is a dumb fuck. I need you to understand that. But again, they notice that there's a lane that they can maybe shoot for. They're hoping for the best. And they've got the cred of being the reasonable Republicans now, even though they were in lockstep with Trump until January 6th. Right? So they agree with him 100% politically. They just said, maybe overthrowing the government's not the best idea. Maybe not now. Maybe later. Maybe not now. William Barr was down with the court cases to try to overthrow the election, but then they lost, and William was like, maybe this whole thing is not so good. But anyway, again, they're going for the reasonable Republican. Is William Barr, who's currently also on a book tour, to my understanding, is he going to run for president in 2024? Is he trying to eyeball, is he trying to signal support for the reasonable Republican so that he can be in their administration? Let's see. But anyway, here he is on Fox News.
Moment for you in the administration.
It was certainly unsettling when I went in to talk to the president about the election, and he was livid and shaking and, showed a lot of temper and yelling. That was a little unsettling. But the other thing that was actually unsettling is later when I went in.
Is this motherfucker going to say unsettling how many more times? Fucking hell. All right, I think that was 4 or 5 times. First of all, I love the idea of Trump being like unsettling. again, like Trump is like freaking this guy out. Like Bill Barr, isn't he like the former like CIA guy? Like the fact that this guy can be unsettled by Donald Trump to me is interesting. So interesting that I can't wait to listen to him say unsettling like 5 more times. But again, I just love the idea of Donald Trump going like like in the Oval Office. He's freaking out. He's saying fuck. He's saying shit. He's saying cock. All right, anyway, let's go.
A lot of temper and yelling. That was a little unsettling. But the other thing that was actually unsettling is later when I went in to actually give him my letter of resignation, he started talking about how he had actually won the election and how the machines were rigged.
Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Okay? Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Joe Biden won.
And that he was actually going to be there for another term, and he was very confident of that. And I just felt this showed a detachment from reality that was stunning to me. He was
or unsettling
so a detachment from reality. So again, Billiam Barr, again, this motherfucker is detached from reality. He is a crazy shit for brains, Christian nationalist, fucking dumb fuck, motherfuck, Republican douchebag, cocksucker motherfucker. But again, it's interesting. I need, people to really note this, that all these high-profile Trump admin Republicans are going out there on their reasonable Republican tour all at the same time. Also, Chris Christie's been doing that. He's not from the Trump admin. But, again, Chris Christie's been at that too, and there's a couple others. But they're going for a lane that I personally don't think exists in the Republican primary. I don't think that this is I think maybe if Trump dies, and then even then, I feel like Ron DeSantis is going to be I feel like the Trump line, the Trump lane even. I think that that's the dominant strain of the Republican Party by this point. But they're going for something. And it's interesting to comment on. But here is Billiam B. Barr. And I don't know what his middle name is, but I came up with B. Billiam Barr. And, I'm unsettled. And I can say that this video that I just watched is quite unsettling. But what's really unsettling is how many times he uses the word unsettling in a fucking 10-second goddamn window. Holy shit. Got a show going on, folks. Welcome to the program. Apparently, Ukraine aid is going to get over $1 trillion of spending, according to Fox. I'll look into that. I'll look into that later. Which, I mean, I agree with helping Ukraine in any way possible, but just note that the Build Back Better bill still hasn't happened. Just interesting. I got like a knot in my hair. This is crazy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Got some breaking news here, folks. Breaking news. This is from CNN. Officer down! An officer was killed and 2 wounded after a chase in Missouri. Police say the suspect is also dead. So, fixing the headline, allegedly innocent individual, or allegedly guilty individual, guns down thug in self-defense, but then also killed by a stray bullet from gangster's friend. Now, again, is there body cam footage? Let's find out. I'm curious if there's body cam footage. Because, again, cops are almost always the aggressor. When guns are involved, cops are almost always the ones who instigate and escalate. So, until there's exculpatory body camera evidence that show that the officers actually were engaging in a justified shooting, I'm going to believe that they were killed in self-defense, and unfortunately, the quote-unquote suspect also did not make it. But again, we'll see. I haven't read this article yet. We'll see if there's any body camera footage or any other exculpatory evidence. A police officer was fatally shot and 2 others wounded Tuesday in Joplin, Missouri, as they pursued a suspect who was also killed when police returned his fire after he stole and crashed the squad car, authorities said. So, okay. So, question mark. Then this guy stole a squad car and engaged in a shootout. What happened before that? But again, okay. Surviving officers are in critical condition, in serious but stable condition. The city has said blah, blah, blah. 66 U.S. police officers have died in the line. Okay, I don't care. Police in Joplin responded Tuesday afternoon to a disturbance call as officers attempted to take the subject into custody, shot 2 officers, and fled the scene in a stolen patrol car. Okay, so there's a disturbance call. So let's get the timeline here. There's no body camera footage. There's nothing. Okay. So there is an unknown disturbance, a domestic disturbance. I don't know. Is it like, like a public nuisance kind of disturbance? I don't know. No one knows the level of the disturbance. Okay, but there was somebody somewhere was disturbed. Okay, so all right, someone's disturbed in some capacity. Okay, cops show up. There's a gunfight. We don't know who shot first. We don't know why they started shooting. Everyone involved. We don't know why they started shooting. All we know is that someone somewhere may have been disturbed, and then this person, presumably in self-defense, tried to shoot at aggressing thug gangsters, and then stole the cop car to try to run away, and was unfortunately tailed and murdered. Now again, I could be wrong. It's totally possible. So I don't know why the police do not reveal the body camera footage. Again, if this is a justified shooting, I want to believe it's a justified shooting. I would love to believe that this is not another example of the 1,000 plus people that were killed by cops in 2021. I would love to believe that this was a justified shooting. Please inject it into my veins with your justified shooting. But they're not showing us any exculpatory evidence. They're not showing us they're not even really telling us what happened. So we can only believe that they're covering it up. Because again, if they were in the right, wouldn't that be in the headline? Like, police valiantly sacrificed their life, like saving, woman from domestic abuse. Like, if they were justified, right? If it was not a totally unnecessary situation, I feel like there'd be more details, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Anyway, all I know is an officer's fucking down. So, well, 3 of them down. 1 of them is dead. So, that's big news. And again, for the 2 that are in the hospital, I just want to say a moment of silence. We are all praying for the best outcome involved with these officers. So everyone, please gather around in a moment of silence. We are praying for the best possible outcome for these officers. So, all right. Are we talking about horror movies? I love horror movies. I'm into horror. Emphasis on horror. So, got a show going on, y'all. Doing a program here. Covfefe? Can anyone find out the true meaning of covfefe? All right, so let's see this. There's an article on this and a video. So let's whoops, never mind. I'm losing it. I can't find it. It's gone. I lost it. Anyway, green energy, folks. I'm endorsing green energy. That's all I can say on that one. Reminder to get your COVID tests if you live in the United States, by the way. Was it like covidtest.gov or something? Get that shit? Get it. Get it. What on God's green earth? And this is a sad story. Landfill worker in porta potty crushed by bulldozer in tragic accident, officials say. A colleague was putting the bulldozer away for the day when he heard a loud crumble, the Polk County, Florida Sheriff's Office said. Now, my question, a porta potty is like what, 10 feet tall? How do you hear a crumble and not realize that, like, I don't, this headline, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what the hell. A Florida landfill worker died Friday after a colleague in a bulldozer accidentally ran over a porta potty he was using, authorities said. The Polk County Sheriff's Office and Polk County Fire Rescue responded to a report of an accident at the Polk County North Central landfill. Am I accusing this person of murder? No, I'm just saying it's interesting. Workers told first responders that Aaron Henderson had been crushed while using the porta potty, according to a statement from the Sheriff's Office. Henderson, 40, worked for investigators determined that a fellow sturdy temp employee was putting the bulldozer away for the day when he drove up to an embankment. That the front blade of his bulldozer elevated 3 to 4 feet off the ground, according to a statement. The blade obstructed his view while he was on an incline. I'm just saying, I feel like there's multiple areas in this story where you could, like, back out and not kill someone. Like, I feel like this might be criminal negligence, I'm pretty sure. But I'm just saying, the driver negotiated, interesting word choice there, up the embankment toward the staging area. And once on level ground, he began to turn his bulldozer and heard a loud crumble. The sheriff's office said the driver, who has not been identified, jumped out of the bulldozer to check if anyone was inside the porta potty and found Henderson unresponsive. The sheriff's office called the incident tragic industrial accident, and Henderson's manner of death has been officially ruled accidental. I mean, I hope it was an accident. I mean, I hope it was, if, the person's dead, so I hope it's an accident, right? But how do you not realize that you are crushing a 10-foot tall, like, gigantic, like, porta potties are not small, you know what I mean? Like, I hope it's an accident, but I don't know, man. Like, did these guys not get along? But that's crazy. That's crazy. If you're operating a bulldozer, man, I mean, this guy should at least no longer be able to operate a fucking bulldozer, right? Like, get this guy away from fucking goddamn bulldozers. If this guy's going around killing motherfuckers, I don't know. That's crazy. That's some crazy S word right there, let me tell you. And the S word is shit. And, it's also in porta potties. I shouldn't be making puns about this, but also, that's crazy. Got a show going on. Y'all, I'm doing the fucking show. It's happening. You are witnessing this shit live. Again, I want to remind everyone, go watch my Doom speedrun from last night. I got the world record in John Romero's new map. So, I'm cool. I'm officially cool. And you should witness how cool I am and go do that. So, go do that. And, whew, wow, I gotta lay off the coffee. I'm putting it down. That's too much. Every porta potty I've ever been in has always been, like, way taller than me. I don't know. So, yep, we got a show. Goddamn. Oh, Lord. Oh, this is going to be great. All right, so okay, I'm reading this just because it might be entertaining. So just bear with me. This is gonna be entertaining. So we have here on Analytics Insight .com or .net. This is like an article by like the website itself. So Dogecoin price prediction 2028. So just skip through here. I want to see. I'm just curious. 2028 is 6 years from now, right? So let's see if they're right. Okay, let's see if they're right. Dogecoin price prediction in 2028. Does anyone else like in the chat or in the comment section want to predict what the Dogecoin price will be in 2028? In fact, let me look up what it is right now. Let me look up Dogecoin right now. Let's see what the coin is at. Good old Doge. Good old Doge. So here we have Dogecoin 12.29 cents. Let's find out. Let's find out. Okay, Dogecoin price prediction. Dogecoin is undoubtedly the leading meme coin in the crypto community. That may be true. It's possible with endorsements from influential figures, blah, blah, blah. The currency is primarily used as payment alternative that includes very low transaction fees. Also true. At the moment, there are around 1,900 merchants that accept Doge as a form, okay? However, despite these uses, there isn't very much utility to Dogecoin. Uh-oh. It's expected that the growth of the currency will mostly depend on whether influential figures choose to keep supporting it. Interesting. Very interesting fundamentals. All right, so let's look at the Dogecoin price prediction for 2028. Let's see. To make long-term price predictions about Dogecoin, again, I don't know why anyone would make a 6-year prediction. Like, why 2028? Why not, like, 2025? I mean, that's a little bit closer. Like, why not next? I don't know why anyone would predict something to 2028. That's bizarre to me. But anyway, to make long-term blah, blah, we need basic analysis. First, when it comes to industry benefits, there are a few that Doge can offer. Let's find out. Considering the autonomy of the digital economy, Dogecoin is in a good position with stablecoins and dApps. Rapidly developing, the Doge network does a good job of providing programmable payment, competitive logistics, and great storage. Does Dogecoin have dApps? I don't know. However, what may cause problems to Dogecoin growth are the widespread crypto bans and new restrictions that make it hard to develop accurate forecasts. Okay. Nonetheless, if network developers and community investors continue to support this crypto, the value is bound to increase. Some experts predict the price of Doge for 2025. Now, again, so they're saying 2025, okay, would be somewhere around 56 to 58 cents. I mean, maybe in 2025 it's possible. If the forecast turns out to be true, then the average price of Dogecoin in 2028 would be most likely somewhere around $1.79 with the potential to reach $2. Like, who comes up with this shit? Like, this is all like people like punching like numbers into a calculator. The Dogecoin price prediction for 2028 mostly depends on the level of cooperation with financial institutions, blah, blah, blah. This shit's just vibes, bro. It's just vibes. Dogecoin is the ultimate vibe coin. Like it's not going up because of fundamentals. It's not going up because of low transaction fees, right? There's plenty of cryptos that have 0 transaction fees or lower transaction fees. It's going up because of the vibes. Like anyone saying it might be 57 cents in 2025, they're also dumb. Like, this is, like, you cannot predict this shit. In my opinion, it's unpredictable. But even if you are going to predict it, with such specific numbers, it will be somewhere between $1.79 and $2.13. Like, you don't know that. Like, there's no, like, you're just, like, throwing literally shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. You'll delete all the other articles except for this one and say, look, see? And that's a pretty big range as well. Like, I don't know, man. But anyway, I love crypto predictions because they're almost always wrong. That said, what's my prediction? My prediction is that Dogecoin in 2028 will be $4.20 exactly. At some point in 2028, it will reach $4.20. That is my prediction. Throwing it out there. Right now, you heard it here first. So there you go, folks. Goddamn Dogecoin. Dogecoin will be worth 1 inch of heroin. I hope. How much does an inch of heroin go for? Not sure. All right. What is that noise? Like, why is my body capable of making that sound? Goddamn, I'm hungry. I'm fucking hungry. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez's nomination to lead ICE stalls due to domestic abuse claim. Hey! So again, we all know that 40% of cops beat their spouses. That is self-reported. Either the spouse anonymously, reports it, or I guess the cop maybe would. I'm not sure. But, so that's self-reported. So imagine how many, spouses don't do that. Don't report it or say no or lie or cover it. So 40% confirmed that are married or partners with a police officer get beat. Okay, so this is very interesting. And also this guy is picked to lead ICE. I've covered this guy apparently a couple times. He's been featured in many officer downs. Many of his officers have been killed, so maybe that is another reason why he shouldn't lead ICE. But also, Harris County, Texas. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez's nomination to lead the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has stalled. A vote to confirm it was set to happen as early as this week, but senators in Washington asked for a delay so they could look into an allegation about domestic abuse from several years ago. Gonzalez's supporters said the allegations are unsubstantiated and no charges were ever filed. Again, charges being filed are irrelevant. Who cares? So I'm not, there you go. That's it. That's the news. But anyway, I find it very funny that this guy who's picked and nominated to lead ICE is a wife beater. I'm just saying, who would have seen that coming? I mean, not me. I don't know what to say. Not me. I wouldn't have seen that coming. But again, 40% of spouses that get beaten by police, may have seen that coming. That's possible. And again, okay, you're going to file charges against the cop? Really? Like, we already know that women that get abused don't typically file charges because the police system just doesn't really support women at all, right? So we already know that. But also add on that, oh yeah, so the person you're filing a complaint against is also a cop. So not only are cops going to do not anything at all, just if it's a random person, but if it's a cop, they're gonna fuck you up. They're gonna go after you in retaliation. So, just saying, throwing that out there. Who would have possibly seen that coming? Ugh. Hello, Bodan. What have you missed? You've missed the whole show. Because I'm about to end it. I am fucking starving. Oh my god. Wow. I am fucking starving. Bodan, go watch my One Humanity speedrun. And I know you're still going to be mad that it's too dark. I'll fix it at some point. I promise. But anyway, does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns before I go and eat food because I'm starving? Question, comments, or concerns? Field them to me now, please. That's a good point. I do have to play the record at night so that the kids learn words. Please fix the darkness at some point. I have a concerned short-ass show. First of all, I'm very skeptical of the claim that this was an ass show. I don't think that happened at all. Whether or not the show is short, I mean, Is it? I don't know. It's like a fucking feature-length film. It's a goddamn feature-length film you're watching. Got a show going on. No, this is definitely an ass show. You're an ass, and it's your show. That's offensive. That's offensive. That's just offensive. I'm offended. I'm gonna be honest. So we got a show going on. Doing a program. Have you ever had a lucid dream about gigantic porta potties? I have not. Yeah, I mean, Lindsay as well. Like, if you know, ever wanted to do a sort of anonymous report, I'm willing to assist you in any capacity. All right, y'all. That's it. That's the I don't know. Like, I'm just, you know, I've been criticized for doing a short program. So I'm just going to sit here and say, let's see. Let me scan the fucking... Let me scan Google, see if there's any... Let me see if there's any new... Goddamn. Goddamn. It's McDonald's. They're temporarily... It's crazy. So toilet paper is rising in price. That's crazy. God, that's crazy. All right. Lucid dreaming episode soon. I'm going to put up a survey over the course of this week to see what people want me to do first, the cooking or the dreaming show. And then I will act on those results. Or the ass show. Maybe I'll throw that on the list too. Talking about a dream episode since Halloween. I mean, I did one episode of a dream show like 2 years ago. And then I stopped. So whoops. But you know, what are you gonna do? Doing a program today. Well, I did a program because it's over. It's done. The program's done. It's goddamn done. But it was a good program, personally. TikToks? Should I do TikToks? People have been asking me to do TikToks for a long time, but I'm going to be honest. I have no idea how to use TikTok. I have no fucking idea. Maybe I'll do YouTube Shorts. So, maybe. I don't know. Reminder, folks, get a bidet. I don't have one, but I want one. Cut down on toilet paper. Also, reminder, toilet paper is not vegan. Most toilet paper brands use gelatin to bind the fibers and the ply together. So, whoops. Just throwing that out there. Throwing it out. Throwing it out there. Boof. Boof. Anyway, that's the show. That's the program. So I'm hungry, so that's it. Y'all have a good day. I will see y'all tomorrow. What is today? I don't know what today is. Today's Wednesday. I will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Thursday. And you know what Thursday is? Huh? Thursday is the day before, what is it? The day before the weekend. Yeah! Oh! Alright, that's it. That's all I got. It's over. Get out of here. It's over. Turn it off. Turn it off. Oh, I just realized that I had the wrong $14.95. I had the wrong number on the. Did I have that like that the whole time? I fucked up. I fucked up.
But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
That isn't what it meant.
Well, what did it mean then? Explain.
It meant that it's indicative of low-resolution thinking. That isn't what...
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, "This is genius.